I'm going to share a technique with you that I learned from Kara of Kara's Color Me Vintage. If you want to check out her page, I'm doing a little bit different than she did because I believe you should always, you know, tweak your stuff a little bit. I have just your primary colors in here. I have some titanium white, and then I have cad red medium, cad yellow medium, and phthalo blue. And everything I do on here, I'm gonna use and mix with these colors, so that way I didn't have to choose a lot of colors to go with. And I'm just going to use a palette knife and mix up some colors real quick to go in the background. I'm going to take half of this yellow over to the middle toward the blue. Then I'll leave some yellow by itself, and then I'm going to mix some yellow with some orange. With some red to get some orange. I did this with red, the same red, yellow, and white to get the peach color, but I want it a little darker. On this background part, I'm going to go with the colors just like they are. And this is a little scary and creepy looking, but Kara did it and it looked great, so I'm going to try it. And you're just kind of, let's see, where's this going? I'm going to mark out where my face is at. She kind of didn't do that, but this is one of my things. I don't want it in the center. That's something she did too, and I thought it looked good, so we're going to come off center with that. We know we're going to have our table or whatever there, so let's just go from there. And I'm trying to, and this is just that's a long filbert. And I don't know why you do this, didn't know why that she did this, but it gave a depth of color to the piece that was very, very nice. So we're going to follow suit here. I'm not worried about the edges. I guess I'll worry with that in a minute when we cover all of this back up that we don't know why we just did. I know my flowers are going to be right through here eventually, and let's see, we'll have our sun come from this way, so it'll be lighter there. That'll mean it will be darker here. So let's put more of the darker down there. Not even going to rinse my brush off, and I'm going to grab some of the yellow and do the same thing, and of course that's going to make some greens. Doesn't matter which kind of brush or which size of brush that you use to do this. We're just getting some on here. I'm going to grab a larger clot of the yellow because I want some of this yellow to show as yellow. You know what I mean? I don't want all of it to be green. Grab another brush, but why not just move forward with this. Now I'm going to go to some of the cad red. This is scary. And do the same thing. still, these undercolors are wet, so it's still going to smear some. Give us a ugly muddy brown, so even though we are getting some of that in there, I'm gonna stop there. And I better dry that a little bit. Draw her table right there in the beginning, and I haven't finished watching the video. I'm going to go back and watch some more in a minute, but that's the way I'm doing it. Never be afraid to adapt things to whatever makes you comfortable. I got out one of my new pastels, just grabbed one. I have these in my Facebook store if you're interested. I love them, they're water soluble. But I'm just gonna think about our flowers now and where we want to put them. They're gonna be huge. They're gonna be coming off of here. And as a licensed florist, I was taught in floral school, you always want, you have one flower that's your biggest. You always want a focal point down near the, I don't know if that's showing up good. Let me get a different color. Let's go with the white. There we go. So we're going to want one to come down over our vase a little bit. And you're always going to work in threes because the odd number, 3s, 5s, 7s, odd numbers I should say. Go with a pretty good size one here and the other one here. See that pretty good, huh? Yeah. And then you got to think about some leaves and always imagine everything coming out of your center of your vase. So let's pretend we got some stems there. So we're going that way, thinking about our composition. Let's come kind of off of this way. Trying to make the leaves be shaped pointy on some of them, round on some of them, and things like that, so that there's at least a little bit of difference. And let's come off this way. We'll do kind of rounded leaves on this one, close together. And let's do one more coming up here like that. Just because. And this is going up over some of those others, and that's fine. The bigger the flower, the bigger the leaf, right? And that gives us an indication of where all that's going to go. So now I think we will go in, just gonna get a little bit of a smaller brush. I'm gonna grab out this little flat brush. It's like a 1-inch flat and a little round. I'm gonna start with this flat and get some of this orange that I just mixed up, because here's the colors now. I'm gonna lay it on pretty thick. Right now we're just gonna leave the depth of all those colors in behind it. See, I want this one to be a little bit different size than this one. You can scallop that out a little bit if you want to have a variation in your petal shapes, whatever you want there. Some of those colors that are not dry underneath are still coming through there, which is great. Now when you're thinking about the face of your flower, I learned this from Kara as well. You don't want to go right in the center with the face in the center of each flower, because then you could end up looking like some boobs. We're not wanting to look like any boobs. So we'll let let me just poke in so you'll see. I'll do it with this red. Let's go right in the center for this one, because that's our definite main focal flower. Then we'll let this one be down here a little bit, kind of facing down a little, and this one be a little bit to the right. This is a good color to kind of blend in a little bit, but you know, the inner circles of your flower are always a little bit darker and your outer a little bit lighter. And we're going to be thinking about where's our shadows. These flowers are going to be darker than that one that's got the light on it. I'm just doing little apostrophes or half C's or whatever around this. I'm going to grab a little more of the yellow just on the same brush without rinsing it, and get the outer edge here where it would be lighter because the sun's shining. These outer petals are going to be lighter no matter what. Even if it doesn't have a lot of sun shining on it, the outer petals are going to be lighter and the inner petals are going to be darker. Change the shape of this with every single little scoop, you know, of paint. Get some more of the orange. Cover up some of this darker. I don't want as much red. Close that in a little. Grab a little more orange. And we can, when this dries, we'll come back in and put some more. You definitely want that to make sure you understand where the center of the blossom's at. So now we have a red orange, yellow orange, and an orangey orange. I'm going to rinse that off a little bit, and I'm going to grab a little white to put in with that orange and lighten it up. This is a good opaque white. I'm adding a good bit of the orange to it, and it's still very, very light. So we will think about using it for more of our sun. Even though the sun's coming from that direction, it's still gonna hit some of the inner petals a little bit. Let's do something to our leaves. Get another palette knife, and we're going to mix some of our yellow with our blue and get us some green. And I'm wanting more than one shade of green, so I'm going to go in with the darkest and then I'll continue to make it lighter as we go to give it more interest. This is definitely a deep kind of a forest green that's coming up right now. Let's see here on the... You can do this with your palette knife, do this with your brushes, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to grab me out another couple of flats around. Let's see what I got in there. Get a smaller one that I can kind of line with a little bit. Looking for an angled one, but I don't see one, so I'll just grabbing a mixture of different sizes here. Just gonna grab a small, that's probably a 1/4 inch flat. Let's go and mark them all in with this while we can still see them. These colors are very harsh right now, but they will calm down later. All your leaves don't have to be shaped alike. They don't have to be the same sizes. You want a little bit of visual interest in here. When you're doing a long stemmed one like this, the leaves get bigger as you go down. Some of that will be hidden back behind these. When you're putting it in now, it doesn't have to perfectly match whatever you put it in there with to begin with. That was just an outline or a gauge as to where some of it was going to be. Different colors back there, say if you had purple and yellow in your background or pinks or whatever, of course these greens would be showing up better, but I was really just wanting to use these primary colors just to see what would happen if I did. Biggest leaves, we made that color. Let me make these this color too, just because. to add some more yellow to yellow, make a more of a yellow green. Ooh, that's pretty. So it's lighter but still has the same tone to tie it in as everything else. I'm just going to use the same brush because why dirty another one? Just filling in the inside of these. I didn't watch Kara do this part, so if she did something different and it turned out really cool, I will come back and share that with you, or ask her to share that with you. Thinking about where the sun's coming from, it may want some of this lighter green in these darker leaves. But I'm leaving the outline that we placed earlier on there to sort of make sure that we have more than one color. And we're going to add a little more white to that to give us a lighter green. Left a little bit of each color in there as I was going, but I didn't. Just thinking about where that light might hit. Green in the middle of your flowers too. Okay. Now here's where we decide what color we want our background to be. I really liked this peach color that I picked out earlier, and I'm not sure that I can duplicate it, but I'm going to put some more red and yellow down here and try. Accidentally got a little blue in with this and didn't mean to. Now I'm still thinking about where's the light coming from, because I'm doing what's going to be our background color, but we're still going to want some areas lighter and some areas darker. And I'm just going to use the same brush, I think. There's a little bit of green on it. Let me get that off. You do want to be able to tell that there's something behind it. That's the depth that you put all that in there for to begin with. Well, I didn't think about this matching my flowers too much. Sure and leave a little bit of those other colors around the edge of everything. Probably fixing to pick up some red right there. Looks nice. Maybe I need to put some more over here, because this is our darkest area. Darkest before the dawn. Put in some more yellow, put in some white, and this will make the body of the color. With the very lightest of the light up here, grab some more white. Still want it in the same peach family. Between this one and this one. Adding in a little bit of crazy brush strokes this way and that way just for more interest, you know. Where a big blob of white shows, that's cool. That's a happy accident, right? Bob Ross would be proud of us. Okay, I'm going to go back into I left myself a little of the darker one here this time, and I have both on my brush. This here, I'm going to go ahead and smear a little on my, but I did paint all that to begin with, that peach color, but I'm going to just sort of smear it in a little this way and that way with this now. Keep it kind of all tied together. Bit of that red being in there, so I'm going to go in these darker areas and just put a little back, put a little of this through here. for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep watching for more canvas videos to come in the future. We can do these flowers in any color, more of the big flowers, more of the small flowers, however you want to do them. But we will have many projects coming in the near future. So make sure to subscribe and click the little button to get the notifications or the little bell. And I enjoyed it so much having you here, and I hope you enjoyed it too. See you soon.